All right, we're green. This is September the 30th, Coffee County's commission, the county legislative body's work session prior to our full commission meeting tomorrow, October the 1st. I am the moderator of work sessions, but I can no longer be, so I would like to remind everyone, work sessions are, you can deliberate, you can discuss, but you do not vote. Okay, everybody needs to get their questions asked and hopefully you get your questions answered. The format of these work sessions can be anything you guys want. Y'all decide, as long as we provide public notice, which we did over a week ago. You can, the format for this work session can be anything you guys want. You know, everybody speak freely, speak up as often as you want to, unless you want to establish parameters that we don't have right now. It's just a work session. And I'm bringing this to order as the moderator previous. I would like to see, without objection, a nomination for a new moderator to be approved by unanimous consent.
Question, why can't you do it?
Because I'm the mayor.
I don't understand why that means you can't do it.
Well, I'm not a member of the body.
Okay.
I'm not a member of the body. So that's why I feel like I can. So the floor is open for nomination.
I'd like to nominate Tim Morris for moderator. Sorry.
Without objection, that would be considered by unanimous consent. I hear no objection, so.
Okay. All right, so we're looking at the agenda for tomorrow night. I've gotten everything down to elect a commission chairman, and you will have to vote on, we'll propose somebody and vote on that. And that has usually been the mayor, but it has go on that. Then you have commission pro tempore, and that has always been another one of us, and it has rotated, and I don't know if we're gonna rotate or not.
Yeah, that'd be a question. Is
Yeah.
that
Or does she,
gonna
does,
be in general, or is that gonna be like Manchester, Tullahoma County? Is that gonna, we don't know.
I really realized how important it is that it has to be somebody that can leave their job within, you know, used to, it was just, okay, this is just a standard thing that we did, and it went on and on and on for 10 years since I was here. It went on. But with his passing, it proves that it's pretty important that
Yeah.
somebody has to leave their job and be willing to come in here and stay 6 weeks, 6 months. But I mean, if he's not signing checks, people aren't getting paid, and stuff's not getting sent into Nashville. And that's just my thing is, I'm not qualified because I can't quit.
Right.
I mean, I'd step out right now. I'll tell you that right now. I can't quit my job and do it. But it
There's
shows
no
how
restrictions on that. Tennessee Code Annotated says
I'm
he
not
can be
talking-
mayor.
I'm not gonna argue the restrictions. That's
He's
just
just
what I'm
talking about
saying.
his job.
Yeah.
Well, I understand, but that according to the guidelines, they're not restricted. They can still keep their job and still be the mayor.
So, yeah, he might can keep it, but they may not let him stay.
Yeah.
So, what does this have to do with how we're gonna nominate tomorrow? I think
I don't think it,
I think
I
you're
don't
gonna
think it,
nominate somebody,
yeah.
and they're gonna say they agreed to
yep,
do it
or not. Okay? Then we'll approve the agenda, public comments. I don't know if there'll be people there to do public comments or not, but if we do, we give them their time. Review and approve the minutes, and they're in your packet. If you have anything about that, make sure that you bring that up. The resolutions is for James Fennell, and the other one is for National Recovery Month proclamations. The notaries, remember when we approved the agenda, that the notaries are approved, that's still in force.
That's still in play, right?
Repeat.
When we approve the agenda, the notaries are automatically approved
If it
with it.
says, does it say approved by without objection, approved by unanimous consent?
Not on the notaries, it does not.
No. That
Connie
could be
dropped the
changed.
ball.
Okay,
She's had to
Well,
change the
okay, can
agenda.
we just add that tomorrow night
You
before we
can-
start? Okay, so we just add
can be
that to
added.
the agenda minutes or whatever, approved
Yeah.
by unanimous
That
consent.
saves a lot of time,
Approve,
and that was a process recommended by our parliamentarian.
Okay.
So-
standing committees, everybody,
But
okay.
if there's any individual that has looked through the names of the notaries and they see a name that they have a problem with,
Yeah.
at that very moment, object.
Yes,
And then you will be allowed to state the name of the notary that you object to.
okay,
Then that
That can
means
be
we
removed.
would vote on the
Each.
notary separately
okay.
with that line item amended or discuss that name. What, that's how that would work. I don't think that has ever happened in the history of county government.
I can't remember. Okay, then the next one down is B, standing committees, appointments, and that is, I guess you pick these, move people around. We've been.
I have.
Okay,
When I came off of budget and finance after a year, Judd and I discussed the need. It was his idea to have, we have 9 districts, 2 commissioners from each district. He had a pretty good idea. Let's have a commissioner representing each district. And I thought that worked pretty good. Now that we have 2 commissioners from each district, when I came off, I said I felt like it should rotate. He agreed. He said, we're gonna do that in the future, but we're not going to just do the whole body at once. So there will be 3 new members on budget and finance. That's 1/3 of the membership, which would be a safe number to keep continuity within that body. So that's why you see there'll be 3 new names in there.
okay.
What about Lynn's spot?
Well, I'm still in there for now, but I'll probably be getting off right at the first of the year, I suspect.
He's still a commissioner.
Okay, I just meant for the budget and finance.
Okay, so you have the standing committees, and then you have the appointments to committees. The standing committees are the first page.
Those are all vacancies. We have a ton of vacancies.
Okay.
I come off several committees, and so there had to be appointments made to those committees
Okay.
with vacancy. And there were several vacancies prior to that didn't have anything to do with me resigning.
Yes,
Rural Roads and Bridges had 3 vacancies, plus Missy and myself. So I come off, so that left 4 vacancies for rural roads.
and that's important, because if we don't approve the road list and stuff, they can't work. Okay, anybody on those 2? Okay, then there's an appointment to the BZA vacancy, and that is the planning commission designee. And did the planning commission pick somebody?
No.
Okay,
The full legislative body.
We pick
You
somebody.
guys, you
Okay.
18 guys have to, if you've got a name, that must be a member of the planning commission. Because I'm resigning, and I was the designated planning commission member for the BZA.
but it has to be somebody from the planning commission.
Correct.
On the planning commission as we speak, okay.
And there will be a planning commission. Anastasia Gonzalez, if you know, really wanted the BZA position. She, upon approval of these committees, she will be eligible to be on the Board of Zoning Appeals. So just to keep technically correct.
And who appointed Anastasia? You?
Me, all of these are mayoral appointments. The BZA is not.
Okay. Anybody through D, questions or discussion or anything?
Yeah, if you're already on a committee, how come you were taking off a committee and putting on another committee?
Everybody needs to know a little bit about all the Caucus County government.
You know, we're still in the process of working some things, and so you take us off a committee, then we're out of that
You'd be a
loop.
really good commissioner to attend those meetings and tell everybody what you got going on. Get the new member up to speed.
Okay. New business is the administrative closing, and that's by the mayor only. It's in the page that talks about administrative closing during the inclement weather and things like that. And if he closes, you can't come in and work. And if we close, the emergency people they get comp time at straight time. And you can't come in and work if you're required to, not come in if all these buildings are closed, you can't come in. And if you don't have sick time or you're unable to work, after we open back up, you have to use sick time.
Yeah, I think the HR back there, they had
Yeah.
seen some people maybe
Did we do that?
abusing
We did that in
so-
policies, didn't we? This came through us too, through policies, I
That's right.
think, yeah.
That's right.
So I just, can I ask a question there? So, yeah, is this just a proclamation, or are we voting on this to approve it?
I think it's a policy that was,
Approved by
did
us.
y'all tweak it at all, or just reconfirming what it
No,
was?
It was
had
tweaked,
it and-
yeah.
and-
Okay.
Send
This
to
came, it
legislature.
came through the
I
committees.
think it needs to be
It's
adopted by vote.
Yeah.
to be presented to CLB for a vote.
Yeah.
Okay, because it didn't actually say,
Yeah.
it's not a resolution, so I didn't know.
Similar to how we adopt our meeting dates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Number 2 is the revised holiday attachment, and that's the days off that are paid by the county, and that's
No, that's simple.
2024 and 2025. Of course, it has Thanksgiving, no, that's Thanksgiving of last year. 2024 and 2025, showing the days of that. Then the next one, number 3, is the longevity pay, and it has a calculation on the 3rd page. It talks about how employees that have stayed for a long period of time here shows that they're worth trying to keep them to stay with us, acknowledging their pay, acknowledging their service to the
That's
county,
the
their
description.
faithfulness,
This is a
and
chart.
paying them $50 per year starting at year 5. And then it gives you a scale on the 3rd page in the back. And I think this was run through Budget and Finance, wasn't it? William?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
They went through
And y'all
went through
appro-
policies
yes.
and procedures,
Yes.
and they went through budget.
Yeah.
And y'all approved it for Budget and Finance. So it shows you where the money's coming from and it's paid for. Number 4, the resolution for the zoning. That's on 5443 Woodbury Highway. And I called, Jeff Toms has a shop there on this property. Okay. I always thought it was his, but this is for Sonia Glover. It went through the planning commission. Y'all approved it, changed it from
Yes,
C1 to C2.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's so they can sell cars there.
Oh,
The
okay.
place is already sitting full
Yeah.
of cars to
Uh-huh.
be repaired, so
Yes.
why wouldn't it be okay to have cars sitting there that they could sell and maybe collect some sales tax while they're doing it?
Okay. So the front of it may be a car lot. That's good to know. Okay. Next one down is rescind resolution 2015-42, where they made a purchasing agent for the county, and it's just gonna go back up underneath, HWR, I guess, or the accounts and budgets
No,
under
no,
Mariana.
it'd be under Mariana.
Under Mariana's.
Where it
So-
was forever, and that
Yeah.
was CTAS recommendation. I mean, the office spending the money really needs to be the same
Yeah.
office that's
Yeah.
taking care of getting it paid, it just.
Plus you don't have an extra person on the
continuity
payroll.
Of that is, just made so much sense.
Yeah.
And right now, she has absorbed it. We're hoping that she can absorb this without a new hire.
Good.
Which could very well save
Save
us
money.
a substantial
Yeah.
amount of money.
Okay.
Did the person quit or?
Yeah,
they're
she
just-
resigned, Stephanie resigned.
Oh, okay.
She had got a job offer she couldn't refuse, so she moved on.
Okay, next one down is 2024-08. It's authorization to pursue land, and I hope it will be a grant or given to the county from the United States government, which is part of the Air Force Base
Dennis, you want me to talk about this?
adjacent.
So this land will not be given to us.
Okay.
I can state that. And I've been telling Dennis for a month now, I'm gonna get on this, and I hadn't got it yet, but I'm gonna send an email tonight when I get home. This would be to enter into an enhanced use of these Air Force calls. And basically, the DOD has pretty much gotten where they will not give land away anymore.
Okay.
But they'll enter into really long-term leases. They wanna see that they get something out of it.
Okay.
What that is can be very negotiable. So we had a meeting in the Pentagon in March when the Arnold Community Council went, and the message we got was, there's a lot of possibilities, tell us what you wanna do, And then the way that works is they have to actually release an RFP, and then we would have to make a proposal to them based on the RFP that they've released. But they will kind of tailor the RFP, hopefully for us. So there's a lot of considerations there, whether you would pay them some rent, whether we could put some things on that property that's a benefit to them. For example, a child care center is of great interest to them, although I don't know if we want a child care center on that property or not. So other things might be like, getting some stuff that's on base, off base, for example, like the vets clinic on base. If they could get it off, then they wouldn't have to be processing people through security all the time. That would save them time and effort and make their security.
Would the commissary even ever be considered?
Yeah, I don't know, I think, because it's kind of sitting there,
Because of
you still have to
security.
go through the gate, but it's got its own thing, and they don't
Yeah.
process those people the same, but I have thought about that, and
Okay.
well, I'm gonna ask them. Anyway,
So we would provide a service for them and they would let us lease the land.
that's the goal.
Okay.
Now, whether we can come to an agreement,
Yeah.
because it has to go all the way through a national
Yeah.
office. Now, to get that started, we're gonna go have a meeting at AEC, and my plan right now, if you guys will allow me, kind of representing the county still as a commissioner, but also, I'm the incoming president of Arnold Community Council, myself and Jim Jolliffe and Beverly Lee, we're all in that meeting at the Pentagon. I'd like to take the three of us to AEC and start the conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send that email tonight.
I think that's a good idea.
So anyway, it'll be complicated, but this is basically saying, hey, give the mayor and whoever he does.
The authority, yeah.
Permission to
Okay.
pursue this. Is that right, Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah. And it may work out, it may not work.
Yeah,
But if it doesn't work out, at least we'll know.
we tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
We hope it's gonna
Definitely, I'm
be,
definitely gonna stay engaged. And there's a piece of property Tullahoma's interested in, separate pieces as well, so.
Right.
We'll be actually
Well,
starting.
maybe
some
we'll be doing all kinds of
conversations.
stuff for the Air Force.
Yeah.
I do have a question. How come they don't use the railroad access anymore? Is that,
It's just not.
cost?
I think it's a couple of things. I think, for one thing, they don't carry things in so large that it's necessary as a general rule. The test articles are not that large. I think it's a security issue
Okay.
for them transporting by rail.
Yes.
And, they've just not used it. And frankly, they've got a big enough airstrip that they need to bring
Mm-hmm.
something bigger in, they can bring it in by air.
I would just like to figure out a way to get those railroad tracks up because my buses have to stop there both ways, passing and coming, and it's
I think that
it's
one, you know,
dangerous.
where's that one at that you?
Right by the Hands-On Science Center.
Yeah, so
55.
that one, we've talked about that, and the part of the problem there, I think, is we don't have authority on railroad crossings. I
Yeah.
think that's a federal
Okay.
thing, and I think that spur is in theory still usable.
Oh, I'm sure it is
But
because you,
no, it's not really, because just when you get into the park, the tracks are up.
oh, okay.
But, yeah, that's a good reminder for me. I need to
Okay.
follow up, because we'd love to have it going too.
Okay. Well, we have to stop and people honk at us and stuff because you can tell that it's,
I know.
well, I don't want a ticket. I'm stopping and I'm
You're
opening my
not- You're not the
door.
only one that has to stop, right? So
Okay.
big
Yeah,
trucks
oh, yeah,
have
the
to
big truck,
stop.
yeah, everybody's having to
If you're
stop. It
hauling
has to.
gasoline, you have to stop, I
Yes.
think, and-
So we stop.
But we had that discussion in a meeting in the last year, and I think part of it is a federal,
Okay.
removal of railroad crossings is a federal
Okay.
permit process.
Maybe in a couple of years they'll get them up or something. That'd be
I would
nice.
like to say real quick, just, the two, what was it that got hauled in here the other day that had to come by river, by vessel, and then
Oh.
transported?
Yeah,
What was the equipment? What was it called?
I'll just leave
React?
that alone. I'll just leave that alone. It was a
Okay.
it was a very, very large metal tank.
On highway hauling equipment has advanced a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's low boys with 200 wheels on it, and now they can safely move stuff on highway that could not be considered
My
when that
company was
railroad
involved
was
in
built.
that, and that was one of the most painful experiences we ever had, trying to get that thing all the way down here from where
The
it's.
logistics.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been hauled on the railroad, could it?
No, because it had, we would've.
Okay.
At least to Tullahoma.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that would've been wonderful if we could've done that.
Okay, number seven, oh, everybody good with that? Okay. Number 7 are the grants in the back, and the first one is the Coffee County Senior Center. They're using it to remodel bathrooms. It is a $100,000 grant that they're putting in for. It's not guaranteed that they'll get it. There is no match, so it will cost the county nothing. So that's the first one. The second one is the Coffee County Historical Society. It is $250,000, and it's to remodel the hallway and parts of the inside of the courthouse that is on the square. It is a 10% match, so if they do get the grant, we will have to come up with 25. I assume that, Lynn, does the Historical Society have a fund I don't know if they would have that or not. We may have to be the $25,000
I
for
think we'll
that.
come up with 25 to
I
get two
think,
hundred
yeah,
and twenty-five.
I think you can get the money back. If it becomes the anchor point for the square in Manchester, it will be worth the
Well, it
money.
always has been, to be
Yes.
honest. It's,
Then the next one is Andy and the Election Commission, and they're doing $43,000 worth of money for 10 voting machines. I talked to him today. It's 100% paid for, and this one's a state grant. The next one, I talked to Frank. They are paying half, for the bulletproof vest. It is $31,000. It comes out of the sheriff's budget. Then the other part of it is paid by the grant, and,
And let me just make one comment about that. This is not like we're having to pay 50%. He's gonna have to buy the vest anyway.
yes.
So this is a 50%
This- yeah,
off.
it's-
It was already
yeah.
in there. So
Yeah,
they
he's gonna
already
buy
got
it
it.
anyway.
So he's already buying the vest. This is just a way for us to save 50% for the sheriff's department.
Yes.
Okay, that's really good. That's a home run. The next one is 100%, no funding needed from us. It's funded by the DUI, doing that. It's also for DUI enforcement. We need that here in this county all the time. It's just too much going on.
I went too far.
So that will help the sheriff's department on those three. So those three are on that one. And get to the back, this one went through Budget and Finance. It's quotes on Ben Lomond, and this is for the whole county, the Ben Lomond quote. Save,
That's for our county service.
yes, and
That's for the county government.
they're saving $62.40 a year, which over the 3 years of the life of the contract saves the county $18,720, which is a pretty good chunk of change, which whoever negotiated this,
Yeah.
kudos to
They
you.
came and offered it.
that was an unsolicited
Well,
discount.
kudos to y'all at Budget and Finance for accepting that. How about that? The last one I'll speak to is the school budget. This is $405,948. I think they're taking from unassigned fund balance, and that is to pay for the after-school programs that we had for 3 years and lost the grant. Several school systems around here did not get the grant either. Our school board decided that it was in good faith to follow through with this for this year and put parents on notice that next year it may not occur because it's so expensive. We're not recouping anything, but most of the parents started off the year thinking that this was gonna happen, us thinking it was gonna happen, and it didn't. So no fault to anybody, but that's where the transfer's coming from.
So
And
the program is costing 405,000, and that's where it's coming from?
Yes, unassigned fund balance. And that's what the grant was doing for us, so you can see how important grants are.
And they still have the grant program, but they only get to pick like 8, they said like 8, counties that get it.
Yes.
So.
The money's been
we just
back
didn't
way
get in
down.
on that, on this time, but, they'll try next year, hopefully they can get it next year. I know a lot of people were disappointed when they.
And one thing that I didn't realize is Coffee County is not considered a low income compared to I got booted out of a school bus grant, and Tullahoma ranked higher than me. And it's because of the HUD housing that they have. I got booted, but they almost qualified, and I was like, Dr. Lawson explained it to me. It's based off of a lot of things that we don't understand. There's some formulas out there that are way off the mark, but that's just the way it is, and you have to play ball by that. So they're gonna fund that, and they're letting parents know that if the grant does not come back, we probably will not proceed with this. And then the last two, or the last ones are the vacancy of Commissioner Joey Hobbs, who is now the Manchester mayor, and that will be filled in the November 5th general election. And I think, is there one person running or two people running?
You got 2 in each district.
Okay. No, I mean running for that position, for
Which
the,
one?
Joey Hobbs's position. I don't know.
Yeah, you have 2.
Okay. The next page is the Dennis Hunt stepping down from commissioner to be mayor. That's open, and it will be filled in the November 5th election of this year, the presidential election. And the last one is school board districts 2, 6, and 7. And Brett Parsley moved out of zone, and by moving out of zone, he had to step down. And, there are two people running for that, and that is the November 5th election too. So when people say that the election's not important, it is. There's three people in this county right there that can be elected, even if you're not gonna vote for president, come out and vote for your
We
commissioner.
will, somebody needs to amend that.
Yeah,
So.
that needs to be fixed.
Teresa messed up and put down, that was Joey Hobbs.
Yes,
She put in there District 3.
No, it needs to be,
It's
Two.
2.
Two, yeah.
okay.
Cause we're three.
yeah.
So District
like-
2 on that, correct? Correction, and that's by the, okay.
You just didn't know it. Yeah, you just.
When do y'all have moved to District 2?
Well, I was looking at the last page, I'm like, it says District 2.
Anybody questions?
That needs to be 2.
Yeah, there was an amendment to the Procedures Committee that had gone through the policies and procedure and through the Legislative Committee and was ready to present last month before the postponement of the CLB. And I just wondered why it didn't get on the agenda.
We don't need to address this yet.
Okay.
We don't. You're gonna see a new iPad. The nation is going paperless. And the new software that we've just got trained on in the last 2 weeks, you're gonna see on your, iPad that you vote on, you're gonna have, the agenda's gonna be on it as well. And there are the minutes from prior committee meetings will be available on that in the future, but not right now. The Policy and Procedures Committee, by resolution, does not have the authority to change policy and procedures by its own language. The Policy and Procedures Committee, by resolution, is to deal with employee issues. It was changed from the Pay and Benefits Committee. Nobody liked that name, so the resolution plainly states that this committee is to focus on employee matters and issues. So that's just not ready to be talked about yet at the full legislative body. Also, the Policy and Procedures Committee, by resolution, was required to have one Tullahoma commissioner, one Manchester City commissioner, and one rural. The Policy and Procedures Committee that met and had business had 3 rural commissioners. So it was, procedure was already not followed by that committee.
Well, this was also forwarded by the Legislative Committee.
Well, it was.
So
it's
this
not gonna
amendment
be
came,
on the
this
agenda.
was the
It's not gonna
approval
be on the agenda. Okay?
by your preference,
Unless-
by your preference,
By-
right?
Yes, by my
Okay.
recommendation.
Okay.
Because you're gonna see most of that stuff in there is regressive, is a good way of putting it.
Well, it was just a way of keeping accountability before our citizens. And you
you'll
don't have to go on a
an opportunity
computer,
to
you,
explain
excuse me,
that.
I'm still talking.
This is not a meeting with
I,
floor.
I'm,
This is not a
I'm
meeting
talking
who has
and
the
trying to
floor.
explain something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just see the roughshod over committee work and amendments that have been brought for the procedures change. And I don't see that on the agenda. And, as a matter of fact, I see a lot of things happening here. And, why is this not as legitimate as the other things that are on the agenda? This came from the Legislative Committee.
So, may I point out that the commission has control of its agenda when the meeting starts. Anybody can propose to add something to the agenda, and with a 2/3 vote, it can be added. So,
That is correct. The chairman produces the agenda.
I understand that. I was just asking why this one was
I
left
think I
off.
explained it. So anyway, moving on, Commissioner Seaborn gave you your option. When it's time to approve the agenda, you can make a motion to amend it. Simple.
But all this will be on a database that somebody can research.
Yeah, most everything in there.
Okay.
I do have one question about
Sure.
that. So, all the material that we'd like to see I don't care if I have a paper copy, some commissioners do want a paper copy,
Everything
and that's
you do.
understandable. And I think that's the main thing, right, is that as long as everybody's got access to it, and, you know, I think it may be reasonable if a commissioner wants a copy printed, to print that commissioner copy.
Absolutely.
Well, we're supposed to get one in the mail or by email, 5 days before. And so, you know, that hasn't happened yet either, but that's in the guidelines too.
Email the agenda at least, but.
Only the agenda.
The agenda is supposed to be
The
there.
agenda is 48 hours.
Well, not by our, Austin
The
City.
former mayor sent an executive order that we were to adhere to 48 hours, which is TCA requirements.
Okay. That's the way you want to run it. That's fine.
All minutes are available online to anybody that wants one. Any individual that does not own a computer or a printer can call the mayor's office and you will see a copy of it in your hands at request. It's pretty simple. And it's always been that way.
So on our tablets, you just be able to research this, or I can pull it up on my email. So there's many ways to get to it.
The minutes will not be on your tablet
Okay.
tomorrow night.
Well, I'm not
But
saying
it's
that.
coming.
No, I'm not saying that. I can pull my minutes come up on my email anyway.
Everybody
Once
gets
you
sent
stamp
minutes
those and
by
they go
email.
into the record, they pop up on my email.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm good. All right,
And
anybody?
it's the way we've always done it. We've always done it this way, forever.
Any more comments? Questions? Make a motion to adjourn then.
Motion.
So moved.
Yeah, you don't vote
Oh,
on it.
okay. We adjourn. How
Just
about
say,
that?
just say it's over.
Goodbye.
Appreciate everybody that showed up. I really need, I think you guys need to